So here we are in December. It's nearing the end of 2024, man, and a lot of figures have come up in the Black Series this year. It's been absolutely insane, the releases we've gotten this year. It's been a really good year for the Black Series for Star Wars collectors. And I'm really excited to get into this top 10 list today. This is just obviously, this is subjective. This is my opinion, of course, but this is my top 10 best Black Series releases of 2024, man. I had a really good time making my list last year for 2023. So if you haven't watched that, go check that out. I had fun making that one. But man, this one was it was kind of weird. It was easy, but it was extremely challenging at the same time. But I am super excited to share my choices here, and I'd like to hear yours too. So go ahead and hit me down below. Just tell me what you liked this year, what would have been better, or whatever. Just let me know what your top 10 was. But I'm super excited to get into this. Like I said, this December, we're near Christmas time. Everything's kind of slowed down. All the releases have, uh, kind of dwindled down a little bit. We get a chance to calm down. And I was going to say give our wallets a break, but it's Christmas time. We're buying presents and stuff like that. So not really giving a break. But as far as releases go, it's starting to slow down a little bit. So that is fortunate. But without further ado, let's get into this top 10 list. Thank you all for checking out this video today and spending a few minutes with me. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. So today is December 10th. At the point of me making this video, I am at 495 subscribers. So I am almost at monetization where y'all can send me super chats and stuff if you so wish to do so. I'm not requiring that or anything. Just you watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing is enough for me. But if it gets to that point one day, I would be very surprised and grateful. But I'm almost at 500 subscribers thanks to all of you. It means so much to me, man. This has been a really great outlet for me. I love talking about Star Wars and interacting with the community and all of you. It's just a lot of fun. It's very fulfilling. But that being said, let's talk about some awesome figgies, dude. So I was this year, like I said earlier at the beginning of the video, this year was insane for releases, man. We got some absolute bangers this year. And this top 10 was difficult but easy. Like at the same, it was very challenging, but somehow everything fell into place kind of perfectly. And I was sitting here and I was looking at my list. I was like, you know what? Some of these figures I got in like the beginning of the year, March, April of this year. I was like, let me just sit down and get everything out in front of me. I'll put up a little picture here. I have all my top 10 sitting in front of me on my desk right here. And I just kind of went through and fiddled with all of them again and just. Some of the ones that I picked kept their places, and then some of the ones I kind of changed my list up a little bit last minute. I was like, because like I said, I haven't touched some of these figures since the beginning of the year. So just to get familiar with it again and kind of give it the extra attention it deserves. Because, sometimes a figure catches your attention and you're messing with it for days, weeks, months on end. And then some you mess with it for a day or two and then it's on the shelf. But that being said, let's get into this list. So I did want to get into some honorable mentions. These are the ones that I really, really liked. They really intrigued me this year, but they just didn't quite make the cut for the top 10. But that being said, so my honorable mentions were I wanted to mention Darth Sidious from this year, being able to use that hybrid utilization from the hard goods, the hard plastic hood going to the soft goods robe or cloak, whatever you'd like to call it. Just really awesome. Probably some of the best reuse we've ever had in the Black Series, in my opinion. Just that old Book of Boba Fett Luke body being up underneath that with that build-up pack. It's the one that comes with. It's the Grogu build-up pack. He's kind of got the gi ninja outfit on or whatever when he's training Grogu. But that Darth Sidious, absolutely fantastic. We needed Darth Sidious so bad in this line, and for it to be the first Revenge of the Sith figure is pretty badass. But it's kind of crazy that we're so far in the Galaxy packaging, and now we're at the straight edge packaging. We're going away from the slant packaging, and this is the first Revenge of the Sith figure. But we do know that we have a Revenge of the Sith Anakin and Obi-Wan rumored, so that's awesome. We're getting Commander Bakar. We're starting to see some Revenge of the Sith love, and 2025 is the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. So I think next year is going to be really intense as far as releases go. Next up for honorable mentions, I wanted to mention the 2-pack Enoch and the Night Trooper, and this was just amazing new sculpt, and it was so refreshing to see that kind of like Roman war mask integrated with the Stormtrooper armor, and the Night Trooper itself, the King Stoogie art style with the gold cracks, just very awesome, man. Very, very cool design. And Zombie Troopers is something that was utilized in Legends, and I just think it's kind of cool that they're pulling some stuff from Legends and making it canon. I think that's really cool utilization that they need to get into and use. It's there. There's plenty of books and comics to pull from, just like in the Acolyte. I forget what the metal was that Quamir's helmet was, but that type of alloy that his helmet was a Legends material. It was a material that was regarded to in Legends books. Next up for honorable mentions, I wanted to mention Thrawn, the dad Bond Thrawn, if you will, plays from the voice actor in Rebels, Lars Mikkelsen, and he is playing him in live action. He reprised his role. He did a great job. I do kind of like the more Rebels look, the more Chiss, alien looking. He looks a little too human for me in the live action, but that being said, I couldn't think of anybody else better to play him other than Lars. But yeah, really awesome figure. Just didn't quite make that cut for the top 10, but awesome likeness. Looks just like Lars Mikkelsen. Very, very nice. And then the next one was very close to making my top 10. This is IG-12 with Grogu and the Anzellans. And just the engineering on that figure is really fun. It's it's a funny scene. Yes. That's just, some people liked it. Some people hated it. I liked it. But that being said, that figure is really awesome. And it was long overdue for an updated assassin figure mold. That older IG-88 and the reused IG-11 is just, it's done. It needs to be retired. It's very outdated. This one, it was just long overdue, man. They did a really good job. Really nice engineering on IG-12 here. The way the door opens up and you can put Grogu in. It's got the little joysticks on ball joints so you can move around. Just very, very good release. And last up for honorable mentions that I wanted to say was the pit droids from the droid build-up pack with R5, the BD, and then the pit droids. That was just, it was really cool because pit droids are such a kind of integral part of the pod race scene in episode 1, and I'm a huge Phantom Menace fan, so it's cool to have pit droids in the line finally. All right, now we were getting into the top 10 list, and here at number 10 is Grandmaster Yoda, and this came from the 2-pack Clones of the Republic with Commander Gree. More like a grunt 41st clone trooper, if you ask me, many people in the community. But that being said, man, I actually have him right here. I do realize that this is reuse from the old Dagobah build-up pack with Luke, but it's just so nice to have a prequel Yoda. Some people have mentioned the soft goods being a little too dark. And this face sculpt is just fantastic, man. The smiling face and this grimaced look, it's just so nice to have. The lightsaber is all one sculpted in one piece. He's got a unignited hilt as well, just that came up with the Luke Skywalker and Grogu build-up pack as well. We're reused from that. And yeah, man, this is just we were long overdue for a prequel Yoda, and he looks absolutely fantastic. And up next at number 9 in my top 10 for 2024, and this figure just is absolutely stunning to look at. It is, in my opinion, the best example of photoreal in the line. And this is Ahsoka the White, or Ahsoka Peridia. This screams Rosario Dawson every time I look at it. It is such a fantastic figure. Her white outfit is really badass. It does have the longer Leku, as you can see, which is way more accurate to the show. And she just looks fantastic, man. Like I said, just a very stunning figure to look at. Absolutely love this figure. Very, very nice to look at, man. And it's more new than you realize. It is not as much reuse from that Mandalorian, older Mandalorian version as you would think. But really what gets me is just this photoreal and the longer Leku, man. It's just absolutely beautiful figure. And this one kind of hurt me, but at number 8, this is one of, if you're not a stranger to my channel, you know that Darth Maul is arguably my favorite character in all of Star Wars. I have a tattoo of him. Darth Maul is my guy, man. But at number 8 is the brand new from this year, obviously, Phantom Menace mold for Darth Maul. And this is one of the first figures in the line, coming all the way back from the Orange Line days from 2013. This version of Maul was so needed in the line, far, far overdue. My only gripe with it, and this is why it made it so much lower on the list, because articulation-wise, this is fantastic. Ball jointed wrists, super smooth butterfly joints, deep cut single hinge deep cut elbows and knees. Just a really fantastic figure. The head sculpt is amazing. The paint is on point, except for one thing. My 2 gripes is on this part of his chin, he's supposed to have like a forked piece a black that comes from this way down to his chin. He's missing that. And that's a little bit of a bummer. It makes him not accurate, but it doesn't kill the figure for me by any means. Still a great looking figure. And also they're missing his earring on his left ear. So those two little very minor nitpicks, but still, I could look past the earring, but having that piece of black of his tattoos on his chin, that just, it's a bit of a bummer for me. And that's kind of why I put him at number 8, because I did have him at like 4 or 5, I believe. I don't know, but as far as articulation and the sculpt goes, it's so nice to have a definitive Phantom Menace Maul. But as far as anything else goes, I'm not a big import guy, but I think it's the SHF Figure Arts. That Phantom Menace Maul is phenomenal. But yeah, man, it hurts to say, but I had to put him at number 8. It's a little bit lower than I would have wanted to, but I didn't want my bias to get in the way for my love of the character. I am a huge Darth Maul fan, but either way, super happy to have this definitive version of Darth Maul in the Black Series, and he looks fantastic. Now, number 7 is a figure that some people got last year in 2023. Most collectors didn't get it until this year in 2024. So, like some others, I'm putting it on this year's list because this is the year that I got it. And I got this back in March of this year. And this is the Glavis Ringworld Mando. And just the updated blaster and holster and the helmet size. The proportions on this helmet are so much better. The paint, this chrome paint is beautiful. It just really sells that Beskar look for me. He comes with the dark saber, soft goods cloak, the vibra knife with boot storage, and a jetpack. So this is what everybody wanted compared to that older Mando. The helmet was a little bit too long looking. The proportions were just off, and he had that hard goods cape that you couldn't even put the jetpack on if you wanted to because you had to take the hard goods cape off. So now with this one, you can kind of like fold it and put the jetpack in his back like he does in the show. You can actually emulate it the same way. But this is just a fantastic looking figure. A lot of bits of new sculpting and just this paint. And then these overlays that they're doing, some people have gripes with them. They would rather see all this like a sculpted figure. I don't mind the overlays. I think it's a really good way to go. And if this is the direction that they need to go to give us more variety like that, especially for these rando Mandos, I'm here for it all day. But this is just it's a fantastic looking figure, man. The paint is amazing. The sculpt is on point. Just a stellar looking figure, man. And it just has so much self-presence. And honestly, The Mandalorian is kind of what brought me and my family, like me and my brother, back to Star Wars. Because after I'm not going to shit on the sequels, but I'm not a huge sequels fan. So I'd kind of gotten a little away from Star Wars, except for Clone Wars, some animated series, and the movies, of course. The first 6, George Lucas's 6. The Mandalorian kind of brought us back to Star Wars, man. Like, it really kind of united the fans. It actually felt like watching Star Wars. But it's an awesome figure. And another thing that I wanted to mention before I move on to my next figure is this figure is so good. It's been comparable and in the conversations with imports that are 2-3 times. Like, I'm talking like $80, $90. Like, people were comparing this $25 Black Series to a $80 Figure Arts, which that is crazy. For a $25 figure, being able to be in the same conversation as an $80 figure is just, that should speak something to the line. And but the Black Series is dying, people say. Whatever, sure it is. Just quit buying it then, quit collecting it if it's dying, right? But yeah, man, I got to give number 7 to Glavis Ringworld Mando. Now, this figure was just kind of like, we got some leaks for it, and then it was just released just a couple months ago. Not even a couple months ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. And Skeleton Crew has just been a really good show. It's been super fun. This is just a super unexpected and pleasant release. And then my number 6 goes to Brutus, man. This figure, this screams Star Wars. Pure glup shitto. Werewolf space pirate. It does not get any more badass than this. The one thing that would have been cool is if he had like more like werewolf feet instead of boots, but that's just a minor nitpick. The sculpt on this, the paint, the accessories, 5 blasters, not 3, not 4, but 5 blasters, and they all are covered in paint. Just, man, you can tell they spent some time on this figure. There's so much paint, so much texture, just a really rad rad looking figure, dude. It's just so badass. These overlays are great. I was just speaking about it on the Glavis Ringworld Mando. If this is the way that we need to go to get more variety in the line and get figures like this, I'm just so for it, man. This is to not get into too recency bias. I had this at number 4, but I went through and just looked at everything else, and I was like, let me not let the recency bias take over too much. But don't get me wrong, this sculpting is amazing. This is probably one of my favorite figures in my collection, to be honest with you. I plan on getting another one. That way I can have one on the shelf and then one to keep on my desk with me at all times. It's just such a fun figure to mess with. The articulation is nice. Like I said, sculpting and paint is out of this world. So much texture. The color palette, dark earthy tones, browns, like kind of oranges and stuff, like rust orange. He's got flintlock pistols, flintlock blaster pistols. It's just so badass, man. You like, and the fact that he's kind of based off of the Lax Sivrak, which is that old werewolf hyena man, Arleo Shush from Episode 4, A New Hope, or Star Wars 77, whatever you call it, depending on what generation you're from. The fact that this character is based off that just gives it a little more credibility in my George Lucas like soul. You know what I'm saying? But this is just it just last minute, unexpected, as Senator Palpatine said, a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. But man, I cannot say anything. I cannot speak any more highly about this figure. I love it so much. It's also special to me sentimentally because wolves have always been a favorite animal of me and my brothers, and we were also into pirates. Ever since we were little, we were into pirates, Star Wars, and animals in general, but wolves were among one of our favorite animals. So this just kind of speaks to me on a sentimental level as well. Kind of reminds me of my brother. I think he would love this. It's literally a wolf werewolf space pirate. It just doesn't get any more badass than this, man. So number 6, I gotta give it to Brutus, man. Now number 5 here is arguably, in my opinion, the best army builder, maybe even better than the 2020 Stormtrooper. Now this is reused from a figure that came out last year, and it was actually in my top 10. I believe it was number 5 or 4, and that was the Phase 2 Clone Trooper. But this year at number 5 is the Phase 1 Clone Trooper. And as you can see, just the articulation on this, butterfly joints, floating knee pads, a bicep swivel. Some people don't like the removable helmet. It doesn't bother me much, but this is a fantastic figure. Like I said, probably the best army builder in the line over the 2020 Stormy. And that's hard to say because I love that 2020 Stormtrooper very much. That is an awesome buck. But just look at this, dude. That is just, oh man, it is damn near perfection. A plain phase white vanilla clone. It's just so cool, dude. Now, I kind of like the Phase 2 design helmet a little bit more than the Phase 1, but I don't know. At the same time, the Phase 1 has got that more Mandalorian vibe as well, kind of because it's, Django was a Mandalorian, so they kind of, Kim and Owens probably just based it off of that. But man, it's just cool thing about the Phase 1 compared to the Phase 2 is that they actually had a life support system built within the suit. So if they got fatally wounded, the suit would actually help keep them alive. Phase 2 armor didn't have that, but it was a lot more comfortable for the clones, and they were able. It was a lot more utilitarian. It was a lot more useful and like meant for a tactician. You know what I'm saying? But gotta give number 5. Like I said, this updated 2023 clone buck that it's on is just, of course, with the different helmet, the Phase 1 helmet. It just doesn't get any cooler than that, man. I absolutely love this figure. It's iconic piece of prequel Star Wars. Watching Attack of the Clones, it is cemented in my mind forever as a kid, from being a kid, and this is just like, this screams prequel Star Wars. So number 5, best release of 2024. Next up at number 4 is arguably, maybe even definitively, the best Jedi body in the entire line. And I got to give number 4 to Ki-Adi-Mundi, man. And this is a figure that was pipelined for damn near 2 years. Might have been over 2 years. But man, was it worth the wait. Ball jointed wrist, double ball neck peg, get a lot of head articulation, very good paint. Sculpting is on point. He's got his ponytail with the hair tie very neatly painted. This is the perfect definitive version of a 6-inch 1/12 scale Ki-Adi-Mundi. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees? The Sith have been extinct for a millennium. But Man, this is a fantastic figure, man. Just awesome articulation. It's got all articulation you would want a Jedi to have, man. It's got super. Just look at his legs real quick. Look at that deep cut in his legs right here. Just insanely deep single hinge cuts on this figure, man. So you get well below 90 on the knees and the arms, ball jointed wrists, as I mentioned, double ball neck peg, butterfly joints. Just a fantastic, super fun figure. It's such a joy to pose around. He's got this nice open hand force gesture that also, if you want to have him hold the lightsaber with two hands, you can still do that, and he actually grips it with his left hand. But if you want to have it like that to add some, flavor to it, he's got a nice force gesture hand here. So that is just so cool, and it's alternate hands is something that we're really missing out in the Black Series. So that's something that would be really cool to get more of and could add so much flair and expression and attitude to any figure, Morgan Elsbeth, for instance, didn't come with any accessories. Had they given her like an extra set or two of hands, like an open hand or a closed, like a something, that would have been so badass, man. And that figure had a really good photo reel, and I feel like it would have been referred to as a better figure, but it just lack of accessories, man. But anyways, Ki-Adi-Mundi gets number 4 best figure of 2024. Number 4, fourth best figure of 2024. Just, yeah, awesome. So glad to have Ki-Adi-Mundi, man. And number 3 here is the second Ithorian in the line after Doc Ondar. And this is my boy, my profile picture, because he's got his stone baked eyes. Momane Don, man. And just, this figure is so phenomenal. It is covered in a beautiful black wash, which brings out so much of the detail. The eyes, this is just a perfect sculpt. Really nice fun articulation for this being such a weird sculpted figure. It's got very fun, awesome articulation. Very deep cuts at the knees and elbows. Lot of tilt in the head. You can get a lot of expression out of Momaw here. Just a very awesome looking figure, man. I know I shouldn't like hype it up too much because a wash should be, very basic in the line, but it's just not nowadays. It's something that they've gotten away from so much. Back in the early days, a wash was a regular, but nowadays we just don't see it a whole lot. But man, this is just a fantastic looking figure, man. The paint on mine is clean. The sculpt is great. I love the kind of like it's kind of like, I don't even know what to call it. It's almost like a reddish burgundy color, and like his ascot here around his neck is just so cool, man. The sides where his gills where they speak from is just look at the texture and like just the pores on his skin, the lines, the wrinkles. It's just a beautiful looking figure, man. And honestly, like, I'm so down to get more Glup Shido aliens, random background aliens, like Momaw here. Like it's just, I'm probably gonna end up buying another one. These are the kind of figures, if you want stuff like this, you gotta buy it for full price. If you can, of course. Like, that's how you show Hasbro that we want more of this kind of shit. And this is, look at the hand. And he came with 3 cups. It's just cups with a world building element, 3 cups. He's got this kind of open peace sign hand. And just look at those eyes, man. How do you not fall in love with those eyes? He looks like he just smoked something real nice. But man, I love this figure so much that it's my profile picture. It's just such a fun figure. I was obsessed with it for a good week or two. I loved it, man. But gotta give him number 3, man. Just like I said, I am here. I will support any background Glup Shido, especially original trilogy, man. Especially original trilogy, any day. All right, y'all. We're getting down to the top 2, man. Top 2. And these, let me be real with you. The rest of this list was kind of like, I went back and forth on. My top 3 were pretty much solid, but these 2 were like a definitive. I knew from the beginning, the moment I bought them, that these were going to be where they were. But at number 2, we have the Droideka, man. And this figure is a absolute feat of engineering, man. I cannot say enough good things about it. This purple overspray gives it that iridescent look, man. On top of the chrome, it is so beautiful. It looks just like it does in the movies, man. And I just can't get over. Look at this, man. All these hinges. The pistons are like a silver color. It's just a beautiful, beautiful looking figure, man. And like honestly, one of the most badass CIS droid designs in Star Wars ever. Well, until I show you my number one, that's my true favorite. But man, this thing is so cool. This is so needed in the line. We needed more CIS representation in the line. We got have all these clones, but then no droids for them to fight. Just a bunch of B1s. But it's even got some red there on the eyes and like the little mouth or whatever you'd call that. It just man, I can't say it enough. A feat of engineering. Pins, hinges, pistons everywhere. There's sculpted bits, extra deco. There's hoses. Just beautiful paint. I cannot say enough about this copper color with this purple overspray with that iridescent look. Justin from Out of the Basement is known for saying iridescent, but it's true. That is the perfect word to describe this paint job. That is what it is. It's a purple iridescent paint overspray. And it's just beautiful, man. It just looks so freaking good, man. Could not be happy with the Droideka, man. So it totally deserves number 2. And like I said, the moment I got this in hand, I knew it was going to be in my top 5. No doubt, man. Awesome, stellar figure. So rad. So happy to have the Droideka in the line. All right, everybody. We are at my number 1 top 10 figure for 2024 for the Black Series. And this was a no-brainer when I got it in hand. The proportions on this figure are perfect. It even came with a really cool accessory that we don't get a lot in the line, a blast accessory at that. And I got to give number 1, top 10 Black Series figure of 2024 to the Super Battle Droid. And this is one of my favorite droid designs growing up as a kid. I loved the way the Super Battle Droid looked. I remember in episode 2 when in the Geonosian Arena when that 1B1 is firing and then the B2 comes out of nowhere and just like knocks him out of the way and just starts blasting. It was one of the coolest parts of the arena scene other than all the Jedi, because that was the first time we got to see that many Jedi in one place at one time. And the proportions on this figure are just perfect. And like I said, this blast accessory just really sells it. Really cool addition. I'd like to see more of this kind of stuff on the line. And just the articulation. And for this to be a droid, he's got a really nice weight to him. He stands very well on the shelf. I have 3 of these. I might say earlier I have 2 droided because I love it so much. But I have 3 Super Battle Droids, and all of them, not one has fallen over not once. They stand very well. It's got these nice, they're very narrow, but this, and then they're thick on the side. This is, I mean, dude, damn near perfect. It is damn near flawless. This is, dude, I don't even know. I might be waffling here, but this might be the best Black Series figure in the line. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Y'all tell me if I'm tripping. Do I just like really, am I too obsessed with the design of the Super Battle Droid, or do you think so too? Like, the articulation for this on a droid, he stands well. The proportions are literally perfect. I just can't, I don't really have anything bad to say about it. Then the front piece pops up for you Republic Commando players. I played a lot of Star Wars games growing up. I never played that one, but this front piece pops up and then this pops open, and you can see there's a lot of inner workings of a lot of nice sculpted bits on the inside that for you Republic Commando, it's a Republic Commando reference, which is really cool. But I just, every time I pick up this figure and I'm messing with it, I don't really have anything negative to say about it, man. And it does what I want it to. I just can't say anything more. I can't speak any more highly about it. I love it very much. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I love the Super Battle Droid so much, but man, I really think he deserves number 1. I think this delivers on so many levels, man. But I am so happy to be seeing more CIS representation. And then next year we're going to be getting the Commando droid. So maybe hopefully one day we'll even see a tactical droid. How sick would that be? So y'all, I hope you enjoyed this top 10 list. Like I said, this year was absolutely insane for releases. And this is just my pick. There were other figures that I really enjoyed from this year that just didn't, to me, these are just the ones that, these are the fire. If anybody asked me like, what top 10 out of this year should convince me to start collecting this line, these are the ones that I would show them. These figures just deliver on character representation, paint, sculpting, articulation. They just hit on all those points that you want an action figure to have, man. And I can't say enough good about these figures. There's a couple of them have nitpicks that I've already brought up. But other than that, man, it was an absolute fire year for the Black Series, man. The line is doing so well, and I just can't wait to see what's to come next year. 2025, 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith from 2005. I have a feeling we're gonna be emptying our wallets next year. I have a feeling, man. But that being said, I don't know what I'm gonna be sitting at subscriber wise by the time I post this video. But right now I'm at 495, and I am going to be doing a 500 subscriber giveaway, and I'm giving away this Micro Galaxy Ghost. I do have some other goodies coming. Me and my buddy Hyperdrive Collection 6460 have a show called the Stone and Hyper Show. If you haven't watched us before, check it out. We stream usually every other Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern time here on my YouTube channel, The Stone Mandalorian. And we've given away 2 figures, but we try to do at least one every month or every other month to do a figure giveaway. But getting to the point where at 500 subscribers, I'm going to get monetization. I'll be eligible for super chats and setting up channel memberships and stuff like that. Maybe one day I'll get into that. But right now, if you just want to support me by liking, commenting, and watching and subscribing, that's enough for me, man. But that being said, I will be giving this away very soon when I hit 500 subscribers. You do need to be 18 years old, live within the lower 48 of the United States, and you need to have an Instagram so I can communicate with you so we can work on getting this to you, go through all those details. I am still working out the details of how I'm going to give this away. I don't know if I'm going to do a live stream or if I'm going to make a official video and you need to comment on that video. Don't know what's to come just yet, but I will keep y'all updated. But that being said, just be on the lookout for that. I will be giving this away for my 500 subscriber giveaway. Just as a little thank you to all of y'all who support me, man. That's 500 of y'all who are interested in what I had to say and or just support what I'm doing. And that means a lot to me, man. And 500 might not be a lot to some people, but it's a lot to me, man. I've only been doing this a little over a year. Started last year of October 16th of 2023. And it's just been a really fulfilling journey. It's been a lot of fun, man. I've met a lot of cool people, made some friends along the way, collected some awesome figures in that time, and just kind of reliving the nostalgia of feeling like a kid again when I used to buy toys, and just now I'm doing it as an adult, you know. But I hope you all have a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Leave me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's greatly appreciated. I hope you're all, like I said, hope you're all having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. May the force be with you. Thank you for watching. So this was my desk doing my top 10 list. Just had to go over and really review. I wanted to get all the figures in hand, kind of go over a little refresher course and just give them the extra attention they all deserve. Because, man, all of these figures are just absolutely fantastic on my list right there. But yeah,